Hello cuties, welcome back to my channel. So I have something different today to show you and I'm really excited about it. You don't see it too often on my channel. I'm making an almond cake today and it is low in carbs in my mind, or net carbs. And I'm not using any flour. It does have real sugar in it, but a half a cup for the entire cake. It makes 8 servings. And I'm gonna give you the calorie count and all of that at the end. And of course, I'll link the recipe below if it works out. Cross your fingers. I've never made any kind of cake like this before. Stick around if you wanna cook with me and make an almond cake. So what inspired this need to make this recipe is that almond flour. I bought an entire bag and it's not cheap, for a recipe that called for about a tablespoon or two. And I didn't like the recipe I made. It was these little mini low carb, I think they were cinnamon rolls. Didn't love them. I'm never gonna make them again. And I hate to waste food. And I know the almond flour is very perishable, so I wanna use it. So I'm gonna make this cake. Okay, I'm gonna get started. So I have everything laid out here, as you can see, and I have my springform pan with a round of parchment with some non-stick cooking spray. And you can also use a cake pan, it said in the recipe. So if you don't have a springform pan, you can still make this. And next I have 4 eggs. These are at room temperature. I just took them out in the morning. It's about 10 o'clock when I'm filming this, so maybe they've been out a couple hours. And I'm gonna have to separate these into whites and yolks. And then over here is the almond flour. So this is the one I bought, super fine almond flour. Like I said, it was kind of pricey. I know Bob's Red Mill is a pricey kind of brand name. It was the only one my store had, so I did buy it. And just a little tip about measuring the almond flour. According to the person who made up this recipe, you should loosely put the almond flour in a measuring cup. Don't pack it down. Next is a half a cup of regular sugar, just white sugar, a quarter of a cup of sliced almonds, and the lemon zest from 1 whole lemon, a large lemon. I also preheated my oven to 350. Okay, so I've got my eggs separated, yolks and whites. And the next step to do is put the egg yolks and the half a cup of sugar in my mixer and cream that up. Okay, so I beat the egg yolks and the sugar until it was creamy, about 3 minutes. You can see it's lighter in color and a little bit creamy. So next I'm gonna add the almond flour. Next goes in the tablespoon of lemon zest. Next goes in my 4 egg whites, and I'm gonna beat this on high until it's frothy. Okay, I beat the egg whites until they were stiff, and it formed soft peaks, as you can see. So I'm going to incorporate this into my batter, kind of a little bit at a time, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so what I like to do is just take, I don't know, about that much, just a little scoop, and kind of mix it into the batter to loosen it up, because this batter is pretty tight. And it'll make it much easier when I'm ready to fold in the egg whites. So let me just loosen it up. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. So now I'm just gonna do another scoop, and I'll be more mindful to fold this one in. And you just keep going slowly to fold it. I don't wanna overmix, so I'm going to get it to the point where it's liquidy enough for me to pour into my cake pan. So as you can see, I pretty much have the egg whites incorporated, maybe not completely, but that's okay. It all works out. And you kind of just have to be patient with this step. I often find that you have to be delicate, but not too delicate. You want to get it incorporated without over mixing it. So I'm going to stop here. And the next step is to pour it into my pan. Okay, I'm going to pour the batter right into my pan. Make sure it's all mixed at the bottom there. Oh my gosh, it smells so, so good. That lemon zest, even though it's a tablespoon, oh my goodness, it just makes the whole cake batter fragrant for sure. Okay, so I'm going to even this out, and the next and last step, basically, is to add the sliced almonds on top. Just going to sprinkle the almonds right on top. Ooh, I'm going to do it with my hand so I can spread them out a little bit evenly. Okay, there we go. So the next step, of course, is to put it in the oven for about 30 minutes until the top of it is firm. Okay, cake's in the oven. It's been 30 minutes, so I just pulled the cake kind of out of the oven just to test it. And of course, this cake doesn't react the same way one would with flour in it. You just want the top to be firm, and I see it's kind of a little brown around the edges, so I'm going to say this is done. There's no loose batter in the middle. You can see where I just touched it. So I'm going to take it out. I know people always say this, but I do wish you had smell-o-vision. The lemon smell and the toasted almonds, it's such a nice smell. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to let it rest here for about 15 minutes in the pan. Then I'll run a little spatula around the edge, and I'll take it out of the pan to cool the rest of the way, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, the cake's been cooling in the pan for about 15 minutes so I can touch it. And I'm going to run a spatula around the side and pop it out. Okay, here's my cake. It looks really good, and it was so easy to get out of the pan. I was really happy about that. I wasn't sure how it would work out. The parchment just makes it non-stick. So I guess that little bit of spray too helps, but you can see it's nicely golden brown on the side. It's firm. And what I'm going to do actually is, this serves 8, so I'm going to cut it into 8 pieces. And I'm going to serve some today. There'll be 3 people eating it, so there'll be 3 slices. And when I slice it up, I'm going to slice the full 8 pieces. I'm going to sprinkle powdered sugar on each slice that I'm serving today. Then I'm going to actually wrap them in saran wrap and put them in a freezer bag, individually wrapped. Then when I'm ready to serve them, I'll sprinkle them with powdered sugar. So like I said, this serves 8, and it's 218 calories per slice, 17 grams of carbs, and 7 grams of protein. So granted, it's, not what you consider diet food. I think that's pretty low in carbs for dessert. I didn't actually look up the fiber. I should look that up because it might be lower net carbs. But yeah, I'm so happy with this. This looks so delicious. And it's a very simple cake, as you can see. That lemon zest gives it so much lemon flavor. I'm amazed by that. But it's really good, not too sweet. The almonds are nice and toasted from the oven. I just put a little fat-free Reddi-wip and just the tiniest bit of powdered sugar. So I hope you give this recipe a try. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you can see whenever I upload. And give me a thumbs up if you like this. And let me know in the comments if you try this recipe. A nice little splurge without being too crazy. It's lower in carbs, not so bad on the calories. So give it a try.